Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Vanessa of Servants Beats. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. And today's tutorial is a long-awaited Bottega Veneta beaded bag. The recreation of that bag. So many of you asked me to recreate this bag, and we are here. We are recreating it. So make sure you watch the entire video to the end. Don't miss any part, and let's get right into the tutorial. So I am using milky white size 8 pearl beads, and I also have these size 18 pearl beads as well. Then I'm using a 0.70 fishing line, and you need your pair of scissors. Now guys, I'm not gonna lie, this bag took a lot out of me, and I realized that it was even so easy. So this is the tiny one I made as the sample. Yeah, so I'm going to be giving you guys the measurements, the dimensions, the science and the math that is in this bag. I'm going to be giving you guys everything so you can make it in any size and any type that you want, basically. So you're going to cut your fishing line. I'll recommend a long one. And we are going to start the normal technique of picking up 4 beads and crossing with the 4th bead. Now my struggles with this bag were real, okay? I'm not going to lie, because before I started trying to make this bag, I had to watch so many Instagram reels of people making the bag, and to figure it out, it was not easy. So I crossed with that 1 bead, and I'm going to pick up 1 bead on the left fishing line, 1 bead on the right fishing line, and I'm going to cross with the 3rd bead. So I'm going to be telling you the story time of how this bag came about, why I am teaching you the tutorial. So bear with me, okay? So we have 2 rings of 4 right there. I'm going to repeat it again. So on each end of the fishing line, you insert 1 bead on the left, 1 bead on the right, pick up a 3rd bead and cross with the 3rd bead. And you are going to continue doing this until you have a total of 21 circles of 4. 21 circles of 4. Okay, here we are with my 21 circles of 4. As you can see, that is it. So we need a total of 22 circles. So I did 21 first because the 22nd one is going to be a little bit different. We are going to turn, basically. So I'm going to pick up 3 beads on one end of my fishing line to make the 22nd one. Then you see that crossing bead right there. I'm going to take that fishing line that has those beads, and I'm just going to cross it backwards, and that makes our 22nd bead. Very easy, very simple. If the tutorial is too fast, just go to the settings and slow it down. So now the fishing line on my left, the fishing line on my right, sorry, I'm going to insert it into that next bead there at the side, like so. Okay, then I am going to take the fishing line on my left, and I'm going to move it until it goes to the opposite side and meet the fishing line on my right. So I'm going to move it through 2 beads like so, and it's going to pop out at the other side. Guys, I know this tutorial is kind of long, but I promise you're going to need every single step that I tell you in this video. Now, pro tip: when you're starting your base, make sure your base is always an even number. Now, for example, I started this bag with 22, and for the brown, the tiny one that I made, I started with 10. So it must be an even number, okay? Make sure you keep that in mind. Your bag must start an even number. So we are basically going to start doing decreases. The reason why we went backward into that other bead right there is because we want to start doing a decrease. So with the fishing line that is facing away from my work, which is the left fishing line, I picked up 3 beads and I crossed with the 3rd bead, and this is what we have. As you can see, there's a slant forming right there. I'm going to insert the fishing line into the following bead, the fishing line on my right or the one on my dominant hand, and I'm going to pick up 2 beads with the other fishing line and cross with the 2nd bead. So the fishing line on my right, I usually call it the working line, the working fishing line, and the fishing line on my left or my non-dominant hand, I usually call it the bead picking fishing line. Yeah, so the left always picks the beads, the beads always enters this twine, then the right is always moving. So I'm going to do this until I get to the last but 1 bead. We are at our last but one bead. I've just inserted my fishing line in that last but one bead, and using that same working line, we are going to pick up two beads. Yes, the working line is going to pick up two beads this time. So that working line is going to pick up two beads, and I am going to go backwards. Remember what we did for that 22nd bead. I'm going to go backwards into that crossing bead right there, and our two ends of our fishing line are going to be popping out like so, and that is going to cause a decrease. As you can see, we already have a slant there, and we are going to do another decrease again. So we are going to move the fishing lines until they get to that second bead right there. So let's start with the fishing line on my right. I'm going to move it upwards, to the left, and downwards, just like that, and it has popped out of that other bead, while the other fishing line, which was the fishing line to my left, is just going to go upwards and enter that bead. It is that simple, guys. Yeah, so we are going to continue, like repeat what we did for row 2, because we're in row 2 now. We're going to repeat what we did for row 2 in row 3. The fishing line that's facing away from us, which is the picking fishing line or the fishing line on my left, I'm going to pick up 3 beads, and I am going to cross with the third bead right there. And the fishing line on my right is going to go into the following bead, the working line, of course, go into the following bead. Then I am going to pick up 2 beads on the fishing line on my left, and I am going to cross with the second bead. So this is basically the pattern for the entire decrease, and we are going to continue decreasing until we have a total of 2 beads left on our edge. So the total number of decreases you're supposed to have is 11. Right now we have 10 if you go ahead and count the rows, and we are going to do our final decrease. Like I said, you're supposed to end up with 2 beads for your last decrease, and we're ending up with 2 beads because we had an even number. We had an even number for the beginning chain. Now I'm just going to say that if you want your bag to be a particular length, or let me just say the width of your bag, you should do your beginning chain according to that length. So for me, I measured my phone case so that my phone is going to be able to enter my bag. So I measured my phone case for that 22 circles of 4, and that was perfect for me. That is how I got my 22. I just measured my phone case. I'm going to show you the measurements subsequently in the video. So I've just finished with the 2 beads. I made sure that both of my fishing lines were in one place, and I simply tied it off, and this is how our triangle is looking like, our entire decrease. Yeah, so you go ahead and tuck in the fishing line and cut off the excess. Now I'm just placing tape at this end of the decrease because we are going to divide our work into 2 here. Now where I have inserted my fishing line, I'm going to start decreasing again, and this side where this tape is going to be the decrease side of our work. We're going to have 2 sides right now. We're going to have the increase and the decrease side. So I've just flipped my work so that the working line is going to be on my right. So I'm going to be picking up 2 beads, crossing with the second bead, and I'm going to continue until I get to the end of the other side, and I am going to show you guys what to do when you get to the end. Please, if you have any questions, you don't understand anything, you can tell me down in the comment section or text me on my Instagram. We are at the end of the other side, and normally we will be doing a decrease, but no, I've said that this side is going to be an increase, so we are going to be adding it up instead. So we are going to work into that last bead right there. We're simply going to work into that last bead right there. As you see, I'm going to pick up 2 beads and I'm going to cross with the second bead. So that lines everything up. It's equal, but we are going to do our first increase, and this first increase is going to complete this row. So with the fishing line on my right, I'm going to pick up 1 bead on the left, 1 bead on the right, and I'm going to cross with 1 bead so that you see how the increase is. But this is not how the increase is going to go. Okay, for every round you're going to put either 2 beads on the end of the fishing line on the fishing line on your right, 1 bead on the fishing line on your left, then cross with that 1 bead, or simply just insert all 3 beads into the fishing line on your right and cross with the one on your left, and this is how you're going to have it. So we have made an increase, we have finished the row, and we have turned the row as well. And now we are going to start the next row with an increase, and that increase is going to be way out of that one that we already have. So with the fishing line facing away from the work, I'm going to pick up 4 beads. Yes, because we're making I don't know how to call it, like a suspending increase. Okay, so we need 4 beads to have that ring of 4. And that first bead that you see me holding there, I am going to insert my fishing line from top to bottom. You see that, top to bottom, and I am going to just pull it through, and as you can see, it has formed a simple circle of 4. That is the increase of that row. Please make sure you take note of these increases, because you're going to be using them literally at every time in this bag. So on that same fishing line, or the fishing line on my left, I'm going to pick up 2 beads, and I'm going to cross with the second bead. And this is the time now that the fishing line on our right is going to start working. So the fishing line on our right starts working only after we have 2 circle of 4s. I hope that made sense. Okay, so we're just going to continue working downwards. Insert your fishing line into the following bead, pick up 2 beads, then cross with the second bead, and we are going to obviously go and do a decrease when we get to that decreasing side. Okay, now we are moving from the increase side to the decreasing side. You get it? Okay, so we are moving now to the decrease side, and as you can see, that is where the tape is. Right there, I had to tape the increase side of my work because it was moving around too much. So you guys know how to decrease by now, right? I'm sure you guys know. Okay, so just, if I'm not explaining it well, please just make sure that you watch the video or go to the settings and slow it down. I tried as much as possible not to make this video long, but guys, there was definitely no way, because I had to break everything down so that it was understandable. So I've just continued my decrease row, and I am going to go back to the increase side. Yeah, so just continue working, and here we are on our increase side. I'm just zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see clearly, and my lighting was not cooperating with me while making this tutorial, guys. I'm not even going to lie. So we're going to complete that row, pick up 2 beads, cross with the second bead right there. That makes the row even, and we are going to do an increase, and that increase finishes the row. And once that row is finished, we are going to turn the row still on that same increase. So like I said, on one end of your fishing line, just pick up 3 beads and cross with the third bead right there. That is going to finish the row, that is going to increase the row, and that is going to turn the row. And our row is turned. As you can see, our fishing lines are facing towards our work and away from the work. So with that fishing line that is facing away from your work, you're going to pick up 4 beads so that we can do that suspending increase. Okay, pick up 4 beads, then you're going to drag it down, then pick up that very first bead of the 4 beads that you picked. Okay, go from top to bottom and pull it out, and that is going to give us our first suspending increase. With that same fishing line, don't let go, pick up 2 beads, and you're going to cross now with the working line. So like I said, you're supposed to have at least 2 circles of 4 before the working line starts working, and it's going to start working obviously right now. It's going to insert itself into the following bead, then it is going to and you're going to pick up 2 beads on the left fishing line, cross with the second bead obviously. Yeah, so we are just going to continue increasing, and now I'm going to tell you guys the math of it. Okay, so for this bag that I'm doing, I did a total of 22 rings at the beginning, right? So we are going to be counting in 2s. As you can see right there, I'm counting in 2s. So each of those beads is counting in 2s, and you're going to count in 2s until you have a total of 23 rows. So for this bag, let me tell you how I did the math. Since I did 22 rows for the beginning of, that long line that we did at the beginning, that circle of 4, I just added 1 more, so that when I'm counting those 2s for the total length of the bag, we're going to have 23. Then if you check, the width of your bag is supposed to be those 24 rows that you started at the beginning divided by 2, and you're going to have your width, which is 11. I hope that made sense. Okay, I'm going to give an example with the brown bag. For example, the brown bag, I started with 10 circles of 4, and my total length, counting in 2s, like I said, we're counting in 2s, my total length while counting in 2s was 11. Then my width of my bag was that 10 beads divided by 2, which was 5. Okay. Okay, so I have a total of 23 there. If you saw how I counted, you should have 23 as well if you're following the same tutorial. So while I have my 23 there, I am just going to start doing my decreases. Okay, I'm going to start doing the decreases like you normally do, and we are going to decrease until, as you can see, we have a sharp point here where we decreased, and the next decrease is going to end up with 2 beads. Okay guys, so just continue decreasing until you get to the next edge. Then we are going to decrease until we have a nice looking rectangle. Yep, so this is it. We are at the end. Like I said, we are going to end up with 2 beads, and those are the remaining beads right there, and we're going to end up with 2 beads. Now guys, let me say a little backstory again. Okay, this bag, I was trying to determine what stitch was used. Like I could see that it was the normal matting method, but I kept on seeing these groups of 4 beads, 4 beads, 4 beads, and it was messing with my head so much. And when I was checking stitches in beads, and I saw this one that looked like the herringbone stitch, and I started calling this bag the herringbone bag. Okay, so this bag messed with me. Okay, it really did. So we have 23 on the length, and we have 11 on the width. Remember that math that I did? I'm going to do the math in the description box so that you guys will see it clearly and not forget. Now, for the sake of those who are using different beads, I measured it, and as you could see, the length was 14.5 and the width was 7. So I just thought I should measure it. Now we are in the important part of the bag. We're about to build the sides, and you're going to go to that tip. Okay, if you see the bag, we have a slanted end and we have 2 tips. Okay, and they are diagonal to each other. So you're going to go to the first tip and you are going to draw a diagonal line until we get to the base, as you just saw me do there. And you're going to mark those 2 beads right there. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other tip. Like I said, we have a tip and a slanted side. And I just traced a diagonal line until we got to the end. I'm using black thread here, but don't worry, I'm going to change the thread so you guys are going to see it properly. So this is going to help us determine the bottom of our bag and the side. So this is my phone that I placed, and I wanted my bag to be a little bit bigger because the base was looking small. But trust me, you can use this method. If you want a smaller base, know that you're going to start from the tip. For example, this brown bag that I'm showing, I did it starting from the tip in order to accomplish that bag, and as you can see, the base was not even looking that small, but I wanted mine bigger. Okay, so I counted 3 beads downwards, 3 groups of 2 downwards, and that is me tracing it until I got to the end again. And this is basically going to help you to increase the base of your bag. And now I'm using blue thread so that you guys can see. And whenever you're tracing from the tip downwards, guys, know that the place that you're marking 2 groups of beads. Okay, 2 groups of beads, they're not moving anywhere. And when you're counting the beads, make sure you're jerking them up or carrying them up so that you can see the 2 beads. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. I counted 3 on this side, and that is what I had. And I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. I'm going to count 3, 2, 3. Then I'm going to trace a diagonal line again. I really hope this is a diagonal line, because I'm saying that I'm doing the math in this distance, but I don't know math. So I've traced the line. As you can see, I'm pulling out those 2 beads. It is in 2 beads, and I'm going to mark them. Yeah, so I'm just marking them with the blue thread like so, putting the thread into those 2 beads, and my scissors is quite blunt. Okay, so as you can see, I measured it against my phone and it measures great. Now the next thing you're going to do is to push up those 2 beads. You see them right there. You're going to trace it now down to the other side. And guys, when you trace it to the other side, the original part to the other side, know that it's not going to be in 2 beads straight. It's going to be in one part of the 2 beads and another part of another 2 beads. Okay, and we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. As you can see, I've carried the 2 beads, and when we get to that end, it is in 2 separate, like it is in 1 bead before and the next bead. They're not in 2 groups like straight or normal. Okay, I really hope I'm making sense. I hope you guys can see it, because this is very, very important. And you see that side that has two beads, we are going, the normal two beads, we are going to tie it, because that is where we are going to start making the next side. So I'm just showing you guys again. Those are two beads and the other sides are separate. Okay, they are separate. I really, really, really hope you guys can see, because it's very important. If you don't get this right, you might make a mistake. Now we are going to start by building up the side. I just counted it, and counting from the side, the both sides that have that slanted edge to where we have marked, we have a group of 9 beads. Okay, then from the tips to where we have marked, I call it a 9.5. As you can see me there, it's 9.5. Okay, so from the tips to where we have marked is 9.5. From the slanted sides to where we have marked, it is 9. Okay, now we are going to start building up our sides proper. Now you're going to go to the bead before those 2 marked beads, that bead right there. As you see me insert my fishing line, do the same thing. Okay, then insert your fishing line into the first marked bead, and your fishing line is now on 2 beads like so. And with the fishing line that is on your left hand, you're going to pick up 2 beads and you are going to cross with the second bead like so. Okay, now we are going to do an increase. This is basically us starting the row, guys. So attaching these beads and picking up 2 beads and crossing is us starting the row. And now we are going to do an increase, and basically the increase is us picking up 3 beads, and we are going to be picking up those 3 beads with our right fishing line. Please make sure you take note of which fishing line we are using. Pick up 3 beads with your right fishing line and cross, and as you can see, that crossing has made it to fall directly on the second marked bead. So that marked bead, those 2 marked beads now are covered, and now we are ready to build our bag. And now this side that we've inserted our fishing line on, and we are working from where we have started from, guys, please, I'll emphasize, this is our increase side. So you guys know what to do when we have an increase, right? When we want to do an increase, you pick up, obviously you guys know by now, pick up 4 beads. Pick up 4 beads to start our increase, and we're picking it up with the fishing line that is facing away from our work. Then put it into that very first bead from top to bottom, pull it out and push it to meet the other ones like so. So that is our first increase, and obviously it is a suspending bead. And on that same fishing line, you're going to pick up 2 beads and you are going to cross with the second bead like so. Yep, so we are continuing our work, and this is what we have, guys. I hope you're paying attention. Now I'm going to work my working line into the next bead with the other fishing line, which is the fishing line on my left. I'm picking up 2 beads and I'm going to cross with the second bead, and boom, we have gotten to the edge. And now we are attaching the sides. So you're going to insert your fishing line into the next 2 beads. Okay, as you can see, our fishing line is on 3 beads, and if our fishing line is on 3 beads, what do? We just pick up 1 bead and cross with that 1 bead, and this completes row number 2. This is row number 2 that we have just finished right there. Now we are going to continue our work. I want my fishing lines to come out of those next 2 beads, so I'm going to move my fishing lines. As you see me pointing, the one on my right is going to move down to diagonal upwards, then it's going to move to the left. So it is moving downwards. Now it's moving upwards again, and it's going to move to the left. So that is my right fishing line then moving, and for the left fishing line is going to move down like so. It's going to move to the right, it's going to move upwards, and it is going to move to the side like so. It's going to move through the fishing line where my other fishing line is coming from. Then it is going to move to the second bead. As you can see, what I wanted has happened. My 2 fishing lines are in the 2 beads. I'm going to repeat that again in case you didn't get it. And with the fishing line on my left, I picked up 2 beads and I crossed with the second bead, and this basically starts another row. Okay, I'm still going to repeat it in case you did not get it, guys. Just go to the settings and slow it down if it's not working or if it's too fast. So just move your lines until you get to the top. And you know what to do when you get to the top. We do our increase. That is that increase which ends the row and is going to turn the row. And what did I say again about this particular increase? The increase ends the row, it turns the row. Okay, now with the fishing line that is facing downwards, we are going to pick up 4 beads and we are going to go into the first bead of those 4 beads, and we are going to pull the fishing line through the hole. Then on that same fishing line, we are going to pick up 2 beads and we're going to cross with the second bead. Yeah, so just pick up 2 beads, cross with the second bead, then work normally down until we get to where we are about to end this row. Okay, this is row number 1, 2, 3, and now we are doing row number 4 right now. So just work and go down. I apologize for my camera shaking a lot. So just work like this and go down until we get almost to the edge. Okay, we are at the edge, and what's the first thing we do? We insert our fishing line. Listen, when we get to the edge, insert your fishing line into the next 2 beads. This is an attachment. You're basically attaching the side to the rectangle that we had. Okay, then let me show you guys how to maneuver that fishing line. So we want our fishing lines to come out with those 2 beads, right? So the fishing line on my right is going to go down into that 1 bead there, move to the right, move upwards, and it's going to move to the left to go to the other bead, while the fishing line on my left is going to repeat the same motions but in its own directions. Okay, so just watch the directions that the fishing line is going through. I believe it is clear. I believe it is quite clear. So yeah, it has popped out on the other side like so. Then you repeat the same thing for the left fishing line. Go up and make sure it crosses into that bead that has the right fishing line already, then goes automatically to the second bead right there. Beautiful, guys, beautiful. Now with that same fishing line, you're going to pick up 2 beads and you're going to start the next row, and we are going to continue working upwards. And when we get up, obviously you guys know what to do. We're going to have an increase. So since we're building the sides, we want to make our increases to be as tall as the other side so that when we are joining, it's going to be equal. So I'm just trying to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8, so I need a total of 8 increases to add the sides. Okay, guys. So I'm just going to work until I get to the next increase, and then I am going to obviously increase. So I'm going to let you guys watch now. Then when we get back to where we have to join, or to where we have to, basically where we have to join that our small side to the rectangle where the thread is popping out, I'm going to show you guys what to do. So just keep on watching. By the way, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell, like this video if you've learned something, and please share the video to someone who might need it. And thank you so much for trusting me with watching this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial, because I have fun tutorials coming up, guys. That long awaited tutorial you guys have been disturbing me for is coming soon. Okay, so we are at the edge and we have just inserted our fishing line into the 1 blue bead right there. It's the first bead, then the blue bead, of course. Then we have just crossed into the 2. So we have crossed with 1 bead, and that completes the row because the 2 beads which were marked with thread have been covered. And once those beads are covered, we are just going to start doing our decreases, because there's nothing for us to do. We cannot keep shifting in front because that's going to mess with the sides. So you guys know how to do a decrease, right? I just maneuvered my fishing line, skipping that 1 bead till both fishing lines came out from the second bead. I picked up 3 beads, crossed with the 3rd bead, then the working line goes into the following bead, pick up 2 beads, then cross with the second bead. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and boom, our side now has 8. Our side is equal. That means our increases are about to stop. No, they're stopping right now, not about to. So the next thing we need to do is to have a slanted edge for this our top part. So I'm just going to work my decreases down, then work back up again. Then when we get to that edge, we are not going to increase, we are just going to end our row normally. That is just moving, like completing that straight row, that last bead right there. Like I said, we are not increasing, and I'm just going to end it the way I would if I want to start the decrease. So as you can see, we have that slanted edge, we have our 2 slanted edges, and yay, we have achieved something, I believe. Yeah, so I'm just going to start my decreases right here. I'm inserting my fishing line into, I'm moving them so that they'll each come out of the 2 beads right there, and I'm going to do our normal decreases until we get to an edge, because if we have a slanted side on this place, obviously we're going to need to have an edge on the other side, a pointed edge. Yeah, so I'm just going to cross my fishing line into that last bead in the middle right there, pick up 3 beads, and I'm just going to tie it straight, and that is going to give us our pointed edge. So tie it, tuck in your fishing line, then cut it. So we have 2 pointed edges, 2 slanted edges, and that is how you know that your side is great. So I'm going to take my measuring tape again. I'm going to measure. As you can see, we have 5¼ inch for the length of our side. Then we have approximately 4 inches or 3¼ inch for that width. So for each side we have 5¼ then for the other side we have 5 inches, then plus the slanted edge we have 5¼ as well. So we are going to repeat the same thing that we have done so far and do the other edge, okay? And I'm sorry for my dirty scattered table, okay? So don't mind it. So I'm just taking off. Oh wow, I cannot talk anymore. I've been talking too much. I feel like I'm talking too much and I'm shouting. So our total length of our bag is 17. The total length for the sides is 17. Then for the bigger rectangle is 13. So just in case you needed those measurements, I'm sure you guys have given them to you. Now the next thing we are going to do, which you need to open your eyes and pay attention, is joining the bag. And tip, guys, joining the bag does not involve using extra beads. You're going to join it with the beads already there. So I'm trying to fold the back so you guys can see how it looks like. You can see those groups of 4 there. They are already arranged. They just need twines to pass through it for it to be equal. And we are going to start joining from the 2 slanted sides, because joining the slanted sides and the pointed sides are different, okay? Now let me tell you the difference basically. Now for the slanted sides, at the end of the slanted sides you have a group of 2 beads like so on each side, a group of 2 beads on each side, and that is one difference. Just keep this in mind. We have 2 beads on each side for the slanted edge. And on the left hand side of this project that we are going to be joining, our fishing line is going to be entering only the top beads. As you're seeing those 2 beads there, our fishing line is only going to be crossing in the top beads. So I've just inserted my fishing line in the top bead. Then I am going to insert it now. Make sure you join it together so you guys can see. I'm going to insert it in the top bead of the other row. Then I am going to pull my fishing line into the lower bead of that other row, and I'm just going to cross it right there. I really hope I am making sense, guys. It is very simple to join. Just watch my fingers or go to the settings. I'll keep saying this and slow the video down. So that was a seamless join. I'm sure you guys can see it. And the next thing we are going to do, I'm going to rotate my fishing line until it comes out from the top bead on the left side. Okay, one end of my fishing line is supposed to be on the top bead of the left side. As you can see me pointing, that is the top bead. Like I said, there are 2 beads, so that top bead right there, that separate top bead right there, I'm going to move that fishing line on my right hand right now to come out of the top bead right there. Boom, it's out. Okay, now we are going to move the next fishing line, and we are going to move it till it comes out from the top bead as well, but it is going to go into the lower bead on the right side of the right side that you're joining. I hope it's making sense. So as you can see, we have crossed both fishing line on the top bead. So the next thing we're going to do is to cross both fishing lines on the lower bead. So I'm going to go into the next top bead, and my fishing line is going to pop out of the lower bead. I'm going to go into the next lower bead on the left side, and my fishing line is going to cross on the lower bead of the right side. I really hope this is making sense. And like I said, there are two ways, two different anyway, I'm going to show two different methods of joining. Then joining each side, that is the slanted edge and the pointed edge, are quite different, but the similarity is that you're going to be moving from the top edge on your left to the bottom edge on your right. So just keep this in mind whenever you're linking your fishing line. Top edge on the left, bottom edge on the right. Yes, that is it. So you're going to continue weaving your bag. It is going to give you a seamless join, like you're not even going to believe. And you're definitely going to believe how big this bag is, because the mats were just lying there. You thought this was going to be a small bag. I know you did. Don't you lie. So I'm just going to move my fishing line continuously until I get to the end. Guys, please talk to me down in the comment section. Tell me something about the video. Tell me something about this bag. Just say hi, okay? Let me know. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are the best. I just pray that God may continue to bless you, because you guys are doing so much for me. And the new subscribers, I pray God continues to bless you too. And I pray He continues to bless you so that you guys will continue on this channel. So if you see on the edge there, we have 3 beads, and that shows those 3 round beads, and that shows that we have joined our edge properly. Our edge, not our edged. Our edge. That. Okay, so we are at the end, and we have that little depression of 2 beads there, since we're joining 2 slanted sides. And you're simply going to make sure that both your fishing lines meet on one place. Then you are going to tie and tuck in your fishing line. So just go ahead and do that. Okay, now we are about to join a pointed edge. Now remember, I told you guys that the slanted edge had 4 beads, just 4 beads at the bottom, but this pointed edge has 1 bead before, sorry, 2 beads, 1 bead before the 2 groups of beads. Okay, that slanted edge just had the 2 beads on each side. Okay, but this pointed edge has 1 bead before the 2 beads on each side. And as you could see, I'm just using the same method to join my work. I inserted my fishing line into the bottom bead. This one I inserted into the, since the edges at the ends are different, I inserted into the bottom bead one of those stray beads, let's call it that, the next stray bead on the other side, then the bottom bead on the other side, and this is what we have. Then I'm going to repeat the same thing. As you can see, both ends of my fishing line are coming out of the top bead on the left hand side. Then I'm just going to be moving my fishing line around like so. I don't know how to even explain this, but this also gives a seamless join. This is like a different method from what I showed, but you're simply just moving, making sure that at least one of your beads are either at the top on the left side or at the bottom on the right side. Then you are crossing. Please tell me this makes sense in the comment section, guys, please. And if you remake this bag, please tag me on my Instagram. I'm going to post you. I'm going to shout you out in my next video. You guys have been asking me so much for tutorials, and I am delivering. I'm trying to deliver. Please, it's not easy to make these things, so please just bear with me. Okay, so I'm just going to be moving my fishing line. Just watch the motions in which I'm moving, and you're going to have your seamless join for your bag as well. Okay, when you get to the top of your bag, you're just going to continue the same thing. You're going to continue. Guys, do you think I should start talking with an accent? I think I should. So, guys, how are you doing today? I hope it will. No, I'm going to stop doing that. Yeah, so I have just tied off like so. Yeah, guys, I am so sorry. I don't know what is wrong with me today. So I just tied it off like so, and you're going to just tuck in your remaining fishing line. And what in the world is this basket, guys? What is this basket? What is this? What is this? Jesus. Yeah, but it's going to be your bag very soon. So this is how she's looking like. You didn't think she was going to get this big, did you? Not only your, I'm telling you, 10 phones can enter this bag. 10 can enter at this stage. Now you're going to move to your slanted side, cut a new fishing line, insert them into those two depression beads right there. Pick up 2 beads with your left fishing line, cross with the second bead. Boom! Now you have completed a row, like you have just closed off that gap. And now we are going to start a new row. So insert your fishing line into 1 bead. Sweetie, just 1 bead, okay? Then with the fishing line on your left, you're going to pick up 2 beads and you're going to cross with the second bead. Just like so. Boom, you have her. And what's the next thing you're going to do? We're going to do an increase, right? We're going to do an increase row. So pick up 3 beads with the fishing line on your left, cross with the third bead. Just like so. Good. And we are going to end the row. And what they say end the row is you end the row with 1 bead, insert your fishing line into that 1 bead, insert in your fishing line into the second bead. Then if your fishing line is attached to 3 beads, how many beads do you need? Just 1. So cross with 1 bead. Boom. And what's the next you're going to do? You're going to do an increase. And what's an increase? You're going to pick up 3 beads and you're going to cross with the third bead. And I'm trying to do an accent that I do not know where it's coming from. Okay, so you're going to insert your fishing line into the next 2 beads and you're going to pick up 1 bead and cross. And guys, we have started. You remember those 3 beads that I showed you, right? At the edge, at the bottom of your bag. Good. We are starting from there and we are going to work because this is the beginning of building the handle. This is the handle that we are building, guys. This is the handle. I know it looks like rubbish right now, but it's the handle. So we're going to build from that 3 beads at the edge to the next 3 beads. Wow, 3 beads. 3 beads on the other edge. I'm talking too much. And I'm shouting. I know. Well, many people complain that my voice is not that loud, so the volume is on full, guys. You guys are going to hear me. So those are just 3 beads that I'm showing you right there, and I'm just drawing it up. As you can see, that is where my first row started, and I'm drawing it up on the other side. If you can't see, please just slow the video and pull it up yourself. Trace your fingers on the screen yourself so that you can see how it's going upwards. Yeah, so that is basically it. And we are going to end on a small depression like we did at the beginning. I don't know if you guys are going to notice it, but let me carry the back up so you guys can see. Yeah, so we are going to end with this bead right here. We're going to pick up 1 bead and we are going to cross, and that is, yeah, so that is a little step. So that is a decrease that we are doing, right? So we are going to move our fishing line. So as you can see, you have 2 steps there. We are working 2 rows at the same time basically and decreasing. That is what we are doing. So I'm going to move my fishing line into that bead that I just pointed right there. Okay, so move to the right. I believe that's the right. Yeah, move upwards. Move to the left. Move upwards. Then move back to the right. All of this is moving with our right fishing line. Okay, then with the fishing line on our left, we are going to move to the right. Move upwards, then move to the left, and our fishing line is going to be popping out of that second bead right there. Yep, this is how she's supposed to be looking like. And now we are going to be doing another decrease basically. Yeah, so we are going to decrease until we can decrease no more. This is what we are doing right here. So if your fishing line is attached to 1 bead, how many beads do you need? 3. So pick up 3 beads with the fishing line on your left, and you're going to cross. I'm sorry, cross with the. I'm sorry, guys. Cross with the third bead. Then you're going to insert your fishing line into the next 2 beads. Cross with 1 bead, so that you're going to complete the row. Yeah. So. Oh, don't forget the increase, guys. Don't forget the increase. I hope you guys have not forgotten the increase. Yeah, so Guys, if I'm saying something rubbish, like watch the video, trust the video than my voice, okay? Like I'm just making commentaries here, but trust the video, trust what I'm doing in the video than what I am saying. Are we clear? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're going to continue moving like this. Just watch what I'm going to let you guys watch because I can't explain this part basically. Now, while you guys are watching, let me explain the suffer I went through to make this bag. Like I said, I thought this bag was made with a herringbone stitch. Just go and Google the herringbone stitch and you're going to see what I'm going to do. I don't mean the crochet stitch. I mean the herringbone beaded stitch. You're going to think it's the same thing. And I also thought that this bag was worked in fours. Like, you know, you pick up 4 beads, then cross with 2 beads, that sort of thing. Like I went through all sort of things. Then I watched all sort of reels from many people who had already made the beaded version. And I was like, I'm just going to go down and try this. And I tried it with the brown, you know, the brown beads, and boom, I did it. I did it. Okay. So this is you guys watching this lengthy tutorial. But trust me, I know you know already that it's worth it. It's worth it. Because this beaded bag is so good. It's like one of the, you know how we recreate designer bags, right? But I think this one is literally the best. It's literally the best for me. It just has this shape and it carries so much. I love it a lot. So I'm going to stop talking now and let you guys watch. But before I stop talking, please leave me a comment in the comment section. Just say hi. Make sure you send me a picture on this of this bag when you recreate it. What else? If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Turn on notification bell because, guys, I'm telling you, I have a lot. I have a lot of videos that I've not edited yet, but a lot of tutorials. So you're going to want to see them. So we have decrease until we can decrease no more, and we have a total of, I believe, 6 decreases. Yep, 6 decreases on the side. So go ahead and pause this part and count it yourself to know how many beads we started with and how many we have ended with, how many rows we've done, and go ahead and do it on the other side like you've just seen me do. And when you get that number, please let me know down in the comment section. Okay, so this is our bag. She's looking like a basket. Okay, she's looking like a basket. Let's not even lie. Now you're going to pick up a short fishing line, not too long. Pick up 1 bead on that fishing line. Then we are going to start joining our handle. Remember I told you guys when we were working on the handle? Yep, we are going to start joining it. So remember those 6 decreasing beads that we counted, right? I've inserted my fishing line into 1 bead. Then I've inserted on the other line. Then I'm going to pick up 1 bead again, and I'm going to cross with the 1 bead. Then I'm going to insert my fishing line again into the next bead, the next decreasing bead, and the other decreasing bead on the other side. Please excuse my manners, I don't even have them. Then I'm going to pick up 1 bead and I'm going to cross, and you're going to do this until you get to the end. And here we are, almost at the end, and my lighting is refusing to cooperate with me. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to cross with 1 bead. And hey, look, we have a low flower shape. And we are not going to end there. So you're going to insert your fishing line to the next 2 beads, and you are going to cross with 1 bead. Yeah. So if you don't want to cross, you're just going to insert it into the next line, or rather into that other bead right there as you see me do, because I just want to tie everything off. I don't want to be crossing then start maneuvering the beads again. So when you get to that edge, you must have 3 beads at the end. Okay, I'm trying to focus it so you guys can see. Boom. So you have 3 beads at the end. You must have those 3 beads. If you don't have those 3 beads, sis, you are wrong somewhere. Okay, you are wrong. So go check your work. So I'm just going to tie it off, and I'm basically going to repeat it on the other side, but I'm going to use a longer fishing line at this other side because the other end is going to attach the one edge of the handle to the other end. And because I am paranoid, I suffer from paranoia, and I don't believe in just leaving basket-like beaded bags like this always open. I decided to add a zip because why not? I like to suffer. And I'm just using a regular beading needle. That's a very tiny needle, like they're very breakable, and I'm using a 0.25 fishing line. They're very thin, they're like literal thread. And I don't know how I'm supposed to explain sewing the zip on, but I'm simply moving. Sometimes I'll move the zip into the bead, then sew the zip on, or I'll sew over the bead, then sew the zip. So I was alternating, okay? So just watch. I don't know what to tell you guys. This step is completely, please, optional. I've just said I'm a paranoid person. And even basket bags like this, they give me anxiety, okay? Like bags that carry much give me anxiety. I want to see a zip there. If I'm holding a tiny bag, yeah, I don't mind if there's nothing covering it. I don't know why I'm like this. But a tiny bag, it doesn't bother me so much. But when I'm having a big bag, nope, I want to see a zip. I want to see a magnetic lock. I want to see a clutch. I don't know, but I need it closed basically. Yeah, so I'm just sewing the zip on. Just watch. I don't know what to say, guys, but I'm basically just sewing till I get to the end. Then I'm going to turn and no, you guys just watch. Like, I'm not even going to try to pretend like I know how to explain this. We are on the edge of a bag. We are on the edge of a bag, but we are not done yet. We are okay. So I wanted to mention that if you also decide to sew a zip, please make sure you're sewing the zip at the same time that I'm doing it. Like I've not completed the handle yet because I want to sew it easily. So make sure you sew the zip on. Perhaps even before you no. Sew the zip on after you have squeezed, yeah, squeeze both of the handles together like you see me doing the video. Yep. Sew the zip on at this stage. Please, I want someone to do me a tutorial. No, to send me a picture of their bag that they have done with a different structure of beads. Maybe crystal beads. Maybe I'm thinking of the crystal beaded version, but smaller, but bigger than the brown one, but smaller than this one. Yeah, so if you do it in a different bead type or shape, please send it to me on Instagram. Send it to me on Instagram. Sweetie, I am going to post you. I am going to post you. I'm going to hype you like you're going to be bothered by my hyping, basically. Yep. So I'm still sewing, of course, and I am going to continue sewing. Yep. So let's sew on. I don't know. I'm trying to be funny in this video. I'm not like a funny person. Like I'm trying way too hard to be funny, and I know it. Well, okay. So we are at the end, and I'm just going to sew both ends of our zip together so that we can have a perfect close. I don't know why I'm singing this. Okay, so I'm just sewing both ends like so. Then I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to knot it. Then I'm going to tie it. Then I'm going to just make sure that it's secure, and I'm going to move the fishing line in between my bag until I cut off the excess. And boom, look at her, she's zipping. Did you know that you can make a zip with your hand like that? You did not know that. I know you didn't. So we're just going to go ahead to the other side of our handle. Like I said, you needed a longer fishing line for one side of the handle, and I've just ended that row, and we have our 3 beads, and we're going to start building the handle. I'm going to build it in 3 rows here. So I'm going to pick up 3 beads on one end of our fishing line, cross with the third, and cross with the third bead. So we are basically building a tube handle, a 3x3 tube handle. There are 4x4 tube handles, so I'm building a 3x3 tube handle, or a triangular sort of tube handle. I'm going to insert my fishing line into one of the 3 beads down there. With the fishing line facing up, I'm going to pick up 2 beads, and I am going to cross with the second bead like so, and the camera is dark. So I'm going to cross with the second bead, then I am going to insert the fishing line that is facing downwards into the next of those 3 beads, which were at ground zero right there. And I am going to insert into the very first bead of the row, like you see me do. Then I'm going to pick up 1 bead, just 1 bead, and I'm going to cross, and that is row number 1 of our handle, just row number 1. Okay, then I'm going to start all over again. One end of the fishing line, it doesn't matter the end. Pick up 3 beads. As you can see, I'm trying to force the back together to bend, and I'm trying to get trying to understand how long I want the handle to be. I don't want a too long handle, So one end of your fishing line, you're going to pick up 3 beads, cross to the third bead, insert the fishing line which is facing downwards, or the one on your right hand, into the following bead of those 3 beads in ground 0. Then you are going to pick up 2 beads and cross with the second bead, and boom, we are going to continue. Then we are going to insert your bead into the next bead right there and into the first bead of the row. Pick up 1 bead and you are going to go ahead and cross with that 1 bead. And this is how your handle should be looking like. It should still end with 3 beads. Can I bring the handle to the camera? Okay, she's here. Okay, so we have our 3 beads. So I don't want a too long of a handle. So I just went ahead and did one more row of camera. So I have a total of 3 additional rows. And this is how it's looking like. She looks like she's about to faint. But anyway, I just completed the row like so. Then I tied it off because I don't want that part to be moving. Then I sent both fishing lines into the middle bead right there. I just sent both of them. It was a struggle to send both of them. I don't know why I keep saying these things like it was so easy. Send both of them into the middle bead. Then the middle part of where those 3 beads are. And we are going to grab our 80mm beads, or however long beads that big beads that you need. I mean, so you don't actually need to use big beads if you want to continue using the 3x3 handle. You can continue doing that 3x3 handle like you saw me do on the brown back. I think the handle is quite cute, but I wanted to replicate I wanted to replicate at least the pictures that you guys have been sending to me. So I picked up 3 pearl beads. So 2 of those pearl beads are like milky white pearls, and the other one is like the off-white pearl. So I put her in the middle. Since she wants to be odd, I put her in the middle. Okay, so I inserted those beads. I picked up 3 beads on one end of the fishing line. Then I crossed with the third bead, and we are going to start building the other side. Okay, and we're going to build this just for 2 rows, and the third row is going to be used to attach it to the other end. So we're just going to continue building normally. So pick up 3 beads at the beginning of the row, cross the third bead, insert your fishing line into the following bead that is at ground 0. With the other fishing line, pick up 2 beads, cross with the second bead, then insert your fishing line into the third bead at ground 0, then into the first bead of that row, then cross with 1 bead, and you're going to do this for a total of 2 rows. Wow, I just said that without breathing. So yeah, so I have my total of 2 rows here. It's looking wonky. It's looking like she's about to faint as well, but don't worry, she won't faint. Not on my watch. She can't faint. Yeah, so I just did 2 rows. I am finishing the second row here. I don't know why I'm in a rush. So cross like so. Yeah. Yep, so you're just going to align those beads right there, connect all the ground zeros with each other. So to do that, you're going to first start off by picking up 1 bead, then insert it into the corresponding ground 0 bead on the other handle. Pick up 1 bead and you're going to cross. Darling, listen to me. At this stage, we're going to pull tight. You need to pull tight, or this baby right here, she's going to loosen, and you don't want that. You see how she's already pulling apart? You need to pull her tight. This is why I said you needed to have a long fishing line. And here I did not take my advice, because my fishing line is short, because this fishing line is supposed to work like four jobs at this stage. 4 jobs, and I made her work just 1, and she died. I had to cut her off because she was too short. So don't look at the structure of the bag right now. I know she's looking weird, but she's going to be fine after. Trust me. Okay. Yeah, so so I just finished joining everything. Then I'm going to tie off, tuck in my fishing line, cut her off because she was too short. But if she's still long, darling, please just take your fishing line back through that middle bead on this handle, back through the big beads, back to the middle bead on the other handle. Do some sort of attachment to make it strong. Basically, you want to make the handle to be strong. That's why I said she needed to do 4 jobs here. I need a longer fishing line. You need to do like 2, 3, 4 jobs if you want it to be as strong. You want it to have some shape. And darling, your bag is done. She is done. And this is something that I really wanted to let you guys know, but I'm going to show you guys at the end of the video. But inside this packet of pearl beads I was using, I had a ton of double and triple beads, like beads that were glued together. And I was like, if this bag was short on beads, what was I going to do? And I knew what I was going to do because I have a tutorial on my channel on how to separate beads. So check it out. So I just put, my little logo thing on the zip, and nobody asked for this, but I'm going to show you. If you have this logo thing too, I'm going to show you how to attach it to your bag, because it's not like the normal matting method. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to attach it to this particular place. By the way, I've not said this, but guys, I'm going to be showing you an alternative tutorial on how to make the same bag but with the normal matting method. So guys, get this video to 1000 views and I'm going to drop that tutorial. I promise I'm going to drop it using the normal matting method. If this method gave you headache, I'm going to show you how to make the same bag with the normal matting method. I already have the tutorial recorded. I'm waiting for those 1k views to drop the tutorial. Yeah, on how to attach your thingy. So just insert your fishing line from the back to the front on each hole that you have right there. Then you're going to find the middle part of your bag, and you're going to find beads that are moving diagonally to the left and the right. That made absolutely no sense, but I'm sure you can see what I am doing. So as you can see, they are slanted beads, but they are moving to the left and right like so. Upwards, make sure they're upwards, okay? And make sure your thingy, your brand name, whatever you're adding to your bag, whatever decoration you add to your bag, if you don't have your brand name, this please go and take an earring or a large diamond if you want to decorate your bag, or an old chain, and add it there. Yeah, customize it if you want to. It's your bag. So yeah, so like I said about that tutorial, please just watch what I am doing and don't mind. No, please mind what I'm saying. So I'm going to drop you the normal matting method on how to do this same bag, the same Bottega Veneta squishy bag. Oh, I forgot to mention, I was calling this bag the herringbone squishy bag, because it's squishy, you squish it inside, and I thought it was a herringbone stitch. So I don't know. Should I add this in the title? Do you think I should add it in the title? I don't know. So I'm going to leave the tutorial. What am I saying? I'm going to post the tutorial for the normal matting method Bottega bag when you guys get me to 1k views. Okay. I don't know how long that's going to take, so you guys should rush it. So I've just moved my fishing lines until they've gotten to one place. Then I've just tied it off and I'm going to tuck it in, and our bag is done. Our bag is done. I don't know where you guys are going to take this bag to. Please tell me where you're going to carry this bag to. Is it to a wedding, girls' day out? I don't know where you guys go to, but I'm a homebody, so I literally go nowhere. So please, I want to live my life through you guys. So these are those beads I was telling you guys about. Look at how those are double and triple beads, guys. Look at what's in that pack. Anyway, so that's it for the tutorial. Please tell me what you think down in the comment section. I'm waiting for you guys' comments so bad. Like, I'm literally living for those comments. Please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and that is it. I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you check out the description box for all the measurements and everything. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.